In the state of Georgia today, family and friends gathered at the funeral for Laken Riley, the 22-year-old nursing student who was murdered by an illegal immigrant while she was simply out for a run on campus. The case has put a spotlight on sanctuary cities like Athens, Georgia. Earlier this week, the mayor of that town, for example, was shouted down by his residents.
Liar! Liar!
Liar! We are here to listen.
Liar! You're a liar!
We're here to listen.
Liar!
There'll be time for questions.
You are guilty and got blood on your hands for this murder, sir.
And in New York, the mayor there, Eric Adams, announced this week that he wants to reverse course on sanctuary city policies.
I don't believe people who are violent in our city and commit repeated crimes should have the privilege of being in our city.
Joining us now, the Republican congressman from the state of New York, lives just outside the Big Apple. Looks like he's back home in his district, Congressman Anthony D'Esposito. Congressman, thanks for being back here on the Hill. I know you've been sort of with and against the mayor. He's obviously a different party on some of the immigration issues that are going on in your city. What did you make of what he said this earlier this week? Did he go far enough in your eyes?
Listen, I think that the mayor has come to the point where he sees the disastrous effect that the migrant situation has had on New York City. I mean, in his words, he said that this situation will destroy the city of New York. And I think it's time he has to call the bad policies out where he sees it. And he has to call the people in his party out where they're failing. And there is no question that Joe Biden is failing the United States of America. And I think that that's what his focus needs to be on. But this is a start. And I've said all along.
Has he gone far enough, though? I hear you say it's a start. Does he need to go further?
Yeah, I think he does. I think he needs to, call Biden out and the administration in Mayorkas out directly and demand change, because the city of New York, it's the Big Apple. People look to the city of New York, and we need to make sure that people keep hearing the story. It's one of the reasons as to why we need to keep talking about the disasters that this is creating. It's one of the reasons why Speaker Johnson and I are inviting the two NYPD cops who were attacked in Midtown as our guests to the State of the Union. We want our colleagues to see the disasters that this has caused. There are victims behind these migrants that are coming into these cities and conducting crimes.
So if you're inviting them, Congressman, to the State of the Union, I know what you're going to tell me. You're going to say we've passed H.R. 2, which is the Republican border bill. And you'll hear the critics that say you should have passed the Senate bill. The reality is that nothing's gotten done. So, I just wonder, as you sit there and you say, we're going to bring them to the State of the Union, isn't it time for enough with the messaging? Like, doesn't something have to get done? Isn't it incumbent upon the Speaker and upon the President of the United States to sit down and say, you know what? We are left, we are right, but do something.
There is no question. I think we've had this conversation already. This is no longer a Democrat-Republican issue. It's not a partisan issue. This is a United States of America issue. And yes, H.R. 2 was passed. It sat in the Senate for however long. Schumer did nothing. They wanted to have a bipartisan package that they didn't even get out of the Senate. I think right now, Joe Biden should wake up tomorrow morning and say no more asylum into the United States of America until we get a handle on what's going on.
And what should Mike Johnson do?
He should encourage the president to do the same, and we should come together and realize that we're going to have differences, but we need to come together and come up with ideas that we can give to the American people, because to just keep saying no, that's not going to work, we want more, and never get to a situation where we agree is not helping anything.
Thank you for watching, and make sure you go to joinnn.com to find NewsNation on your television provider. And don't forget to click the red subscribe button below to get more of NewsNation's fact-driven, unbiased coverage.